back to my channel. My name is Nisha. On today's video, we are going to be talking about things that people do not tell you about pregnancy. So I came up with a list of a good couple of things that I feel like is necessary that you should know if you're currently pregnant, if you're probably in those beginning stages or thinking about being pregnant. I do want to do a disclaimer. I am not a medical professional by any means. So if some of these things are happening to you and maybe they're happening like more consistently and you want to speak to your doctor about it, I totally recommend it. Also, this is going to be a TMI video. So if you guys are not comfortable about talking about vaginas, nipples, things of that nature, then you may want to click out the video too. But anyways, so if you want to hear about the things that our great bodies go through, what hormones do to us while we're creating lives, then stay tuned. By the way, I should mention this is my second pregnancy. I am currently 26 weeks and 4 days. I also have a toddler who's 3, and I'm expecting this baby in March. So let's get started, okay? So the first thing that people don't tell you about is pregnancy anxiety. And this is a very common thing, especially generally when you find out early in pregnancy. So generally, a lot of people consider the first 12 weeks more of a like private time. They don't tend to tell women generally not, oh my goodness. Women generally elect to not tell people that they're pregnant this early in the pregnancy because of the anxiety of losing the baby. There are a lot of things that kind of correspond during this time, and just making sure that you have a viable pregnancy causes a lot of anxiety. I know for me personally, when I was pregnant with my first son, I didn't find out until I was like 3 months. So I didn't really have too much of anxiety because I didn't really know. However, with this baby, we found out at 10 days DPO or past ovulation. So I was very nervous. I know a couple of other mommies who said that, like me, they often check your underwear or go to the bathroom a lot because you want to make sure that you don't see bleeding or anything like that. And even now, even though I'm almost to my 3rd trimester, I still, when I go to the restroom, I'm checking and praying, that I don't see any type of blood that shows signs of miscarriage or anything like that, which is, I know it's like a taboo thing that a lot of people don't speak of, but a lot of women do go through it. And that's one of the biggest things that I feel like people don't tell you about. Another thing people don't tell you about is how sensitive your breasts can be, especially during like that first trimester. I feel like, well, the first trimester and the 4th, they call the 4th trimester postpartum, which is after you have the baby. But oh my God, there's something about your hormones changing that makes your whole breast sensitive. Your nipples, it's like you don't want to be touched. Like to lay on them hurts. If someone touches you, it hurts. Like my husband, for instance, when we found out we were pregnant this time, he would want to touch, or like my son would want to lay on me. And it was just like, oh my God, like it really, really hurts. Like people don't really say or inform you about the sensitivity of your breast during pregnancy. Another thing is you cannot eat raw meat. And I know that sounds weird, like raw, but like deli meats, like certain fish, certain things like that. So I know for me, like I would crave like Jersey Mike's, which is like a sandwich place, kind of like Subway or like Firehouse or Jimmy John's. And I would get the turkey, like this turkey sandwich, but I would have to have them heated up. So people don't tell you that they'll say like, oh, you can't eat it because of the listeria that is found in raw meat. However, if you heat it up and make it hot and you cook it thoroughly, then you can actually eat it. Another thing that people don't talk about is discharge. So for some women, I know that they generally wear panty liners, but the discharge, like all the hormones, that area becomes very, very, like you get like thick mucus, like a thick, like wet, creamy feeling. And I know for me, I've even had to change underwear because it's like, it's been that bad before. So that's another thing. I know it's a little weird, but it's the truth that that area, which also can affect in a good way your sex life. So that's another thing. I know some people are like, pregnancy sex is the best sex, and it's because of the moisture and all of that. And also, you're creating more blood flow. So like it's more enjoyable for some women. Some women do experience painful sex during pregnancy, just kind of depending on which end of the spectrum you're on. Another thing people don't tell you about is how much your skin changes. Now, I'm not generally like acne prone or anything, but with this pregnancy, they generally say girls steal your beauty. That was a lie because I was convinced I was having a daughter because of that specific one of those reasons. But I, with this pregnancy, noticed that I was breaking out a lot, like here around my face. My skin, I always have dry skin, so that wasn't anything different. But for some women, your skin gets drier. Some skin can get moisture, like oily and stuff of that nature. So pregnancy changes a lot. I feel like us women, we sacrifice it, and though it may not be the funnest thing for everyone, I feel like sometimes in media, they glamorize pregnancy, like, oh, you wear the pretty dresses, you have the beautiful bump, and you know what I mean, and you have the glowy skin. Sorry, I'm gonna put my shirt down. The glowy skin, but they don't really talk about some of the not so easy things that we as mothers sacrifice for our babies. Another thing is, if you're obsessed with a pair of shoes or you have a lot of shoes in a specific size, your feet generally grow during pregnancy. Like before I was pregnant with my son, my first son, I was like a size 9. Now I wear a size 10 in shoes. It's like your feet grow, they can swell. It's just, you just never know, okay? Another thing is sleep. Girl, sleep is hard, okay? For me personally, I generally sleep on my back. So not being able to sleep on your back, and I mean not on your back, on your stomach, that's my thing. Not being able to sleep on your stomach, you have to generally sleep on, they prefer you to sleep on your left side, but either side. It basically helps like oxygen flow to the baby. They say if you lay flat on your back, like when you're at a certain point, the placenta can kind of, I don't know, there's a lot of different research. Do your research, but just know that sleep can really be hard to obtain when pregnant, okay? I wake up at least, well, not as much now, maybe like once a night. I'll wake up to go use the bathroom, but God, at the beginning, you can be going, and even towards the end, as the baby gets bigger and pushing on your bladder, you can continue to go. Another thing that people don't tell you is that your gums may bleed. And speaking of gum, that you may not like your toothpaste, that you gag when you brush your teeth, which sucks because it's something that you have to do every day. And I know for me personally, I had to change toothpaste because I kept gagging. I couldn't even brush my teeth, let alone my tongue, because pregnancy. The baby didn't like it. I told my husband, I was like, oh yeah, that's a no. We cannot. Another thing, girl, heartburn and indigestion. Okay, so there's this myth of if you have heartburn, that means your baby's gonna have a lot of hair. I don't know if I really believe that one, considering with my first son, I didn't have any heartburn and he came out with a head full of hair. So I was a little scared. But this pregnancy, I had indigestion so bad. I had to run and get Tums, and I had to have my husband buy me like ginger ale to help me like burp, because to not be able to burp or like, you know, have the burning sensation in your throat, it's not fun. It's not fun. But again, that's what we do for our little ones, right? Like I was talking about the bathroom. Some women have, it's a spectrum. For some women, it's like you go constantly, and even like number 2, like, you know, you have like diarrhea, or some women are like super constipated and they hemorrhage. So it's like, in different parts of the pregnancy, different things happen. I know like towards the end of pregnancy, it's very common for women to have diarrhea because it's like a sign of labor, like your body's like cleansing and getting everything out. it's just one of those things, guys. Also, stretch marks. Generally, it's a genetic thing. So like, I know my mom had stretch marks, my grandma had stretch marks, my aunties had stretch marks. So I knew that I would get stretch marks. But the thing they don't tell you is you could go your whole pregnancy without stretch marks, and after pregnancy, they show up. So it's just, you know, one of those things. I know a lot of women use the bio oil. I've never used that. I generally just put regular lotion on my skin. But like I said, I got stretch marks with my first son. So I knew this pregnancy I was going to get stretch marks. But I don't mind. Another one, breathing. Girl. So for me, I naturally hold my breath anyways. I don't even know why. But when you add pregnancy on top of it, like if you're ever on the phone with me, I'm just like, like it's a lot. I don't even know why. Like even getting ready for this video, I couldn't even breathe. I was like, I need my young water. And yeah. Oh, speaking of breathing, they don't tell you how thirsty. When you, even like during the pregnancy, hold on. During the pregnancy and after, when I was, excuse me, breastfed my first son, oh my God. Like, it was like the more he drank, the more I had to drink. It was like I needed water, he needed water. Like, they don't tell you how thirsty you are. You have to keep water or something on deck, because if not, whew. And then lastly, people don't tell you that you may not like pregnancy. And like I was saying earlier, people tend to glamorize it and make it this glamorous thing, which it is, because you're bringing forth a new life, a new baby, you know, part of you. But you may not like it. And I know some people who despise being pregnant, but of course you love your baby. And I feel like those two things don't correlate. Just because, you know, some women have hard pregnancies, some women have easier pregnancies, but whether you like it or not doesn't have to always affect the ending. You know what I mean? You still can love your baby unconditionally. You still can be a great mother. It's just you may not always like it, or some of the things that come with it. There's perks. You get to eat generally what you want, but you may have to sacrifice and be on the toilet, and or you may have beautiful skin, but your gums bleed. Like, it's kind of, you know, you just never know what part of the spectrum you're going to be a part of. But I hope this video was helpful. That's all my, you know, things that they don't tell you about pregnancy. I hope it was helpful for you. And if you guys are expecting now, congratulations. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Peace.